Jewish. Oh, I didn't see you there. I was just writing my diary as I do every day. I had to go into hiding at a very young age because of the war. I would write in my diary because I had to stay very, very quiet. I would have never known my diary would become something special to people. Before I start my story, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Anne Frank. I was born on June 12, 1929. I was a happy child. My sister and I lived normal lives. We went to the beach, school, and had a lot of friends. No one cared what our religion was. But that all changed when the war came. A man named Adolf Hitler told everyone that Jewish people were Germany's problem. When I heard this on the radio, I felt like I had just been smacked in the face. I knew that what he said wasn't true, but others believed it. We were all forced to wear yellow stars so we could easily be noticed or made fun of. And trust me, a small little star can bring a lot of sadness to a person. Soon, Jewish people were taken to concentration camps. At this time, my father Otto had a room in the back of his office, and we hid there. We called this the secret annex. I was so sad I had to leave everything I loved. My father had just given me a diary, and I decided it should be, well, as you might say nowadays, BFF. In the annex, we had to follow a routine. And this wasn't one of those every Thursday night we have pizza kind of routines. It was the total opposite. In the annex, we would have to stay quiet for, well, way too long. During this time, I would usually write in my diary because it seemed to make the time go faster. Even though I had my basic needs met, I hated being cooped up in that area. I tried my best to have fun, clowning around or saying jokes. Usually, my father's workers would go out and buy me things such as magazines. When I thought everything was going to be alright, I heard a noise. Someone had just broken in. And this happened 3 times. It scared me so much. Even though I was in hiding, I still had to do basic things like school. During all my days of writing in my diary, I decided to be a writer. When I heard a program on the radio that told all Jewish people who were in hiding to give letters and diaries, it made me want to be a writer even more. I wrote stories and all my observations. I wrote with the idea of my diary being published, and for once in a long time, I was happy. One regular day had begun. We were preparing food for breakfast when I heard a car pull up. 2 Gestapo officers stepped out. Right at that moment, I knew what was happening. We had been discovered. I froze. I couldn't believe that we had been hiding there for so long. I thought we would make it, but I was wrong. The officers ordered all of us to pack our valuables. I packed my diary, but suddenly it fell out of my briefcase and onto the floor. I was so angry and sad, I didn't bother to pick it up. When we left the building, we were put on trains to concentration camps. My sister and I went to 3 concentration camps in 3 months, while other residents of the annex either stayed in one concentration camp or sadly passed away. Each camp was the same. Do silly jobs, get fed very little, and have really hard beds to sleep on. At the last camp, Bergen-Belsen, my sister fell from her bunk and died. I was devastated. I, too, was getting ill of typhus and died a few days later. I was only 15 years old. Soon after my death, my father's camp was liberated. He returned to his office and found my diary. He decided to publish it because that was a dream of mine. Now, there are many copies of my diary and even a play, and it's all because of my father. Many people were inspired by my story because they too have been impacted by the war. As I stand here tonight, I want you to know that I was just a girl with the dream of being a writer, and then changing people's perspective of the war. You too could be like me if you follow your dreams and never lose hope. Your biggest dreams can come true. Thank you.